What makes a house a home? We invited people across Wales to show us their homes, and 5 regional winners have made it through to the grand final. At Llanceach Fawr Manor House in the heart of the Rhymney Valley, the judges must now choose which home will win the title. Architectural designer Glenn Thomas.
At the start of this journey, I had a very clear, concise interpretation in my head of what I thought made a home. But to choose a winner is going to be incredibly hard for me.
Interior designer Mandy Watkins.
We have seen so many wonderful homes, and to get them down to the last 5 was a bit of a challenge. It's going to be so exciting to actually meet the people that live in these wonderful homes.
And leading the judging, Owain Wyn Evans.
The standard of the homes that we've visited has been absolutely incredible. And of course, every home has offered something different. So which one will be Wales Home of the Year? Well, that's down to us to decide, and that's going to be tough.
In the end, only one can be crowned Wales Home of the Year. The finalists begin to arrive.
It's just really nice to feel appreciated that your home and your hard work's actually, you know, it's come out really well and people like it.
It's an honour just to be here. I think I was amazed when we made it as a finalist, so I'm happy to just be here.
No expectations, I think, and no regrets. You know, whatever happens, it'll be good.
You know, in your house, you work pretty much in isolation. Particularly, you know, when I do upcycling of furniture, it's all very individual, so it's quite nice to have some feedback.
I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to getting a peek at the other contestants' houses and seeing, you know, yeah, what they've done. I'm also somewhat nervous because when we see them, A, we'll see what the competition's like, and B, I can guarantee there'll be some ideas that we go, oh, I want to implement that at home, so it just means more work ultimately when I get back.
Feels really surreal to be here, and yeah, very honoured. Yeah, I don't know what to expect, and I love design, so it'd be nice to see other people's homes, and can't wait to share it with my parents and talk about, because they're heavily involved in the project, and it was very much a family project, so yeah, it's great.
Our finalists will now meet each other and the judges for the first time.
To knowingly have your home judged, I think, is different to, because I suppose anyone that comes into your home is possibly secretly judging it. But it's nice to have that validation of, yeah, what we have done is good, and you know, it looks good, it's to a high standard.
We're quite a diverse group in terms of ages and locations, so it's quite nice to see other people as enthusiastic about their homes as we are, because we love to do things with the house. So it's nice to meet like-minded people.
Well, hello everyone. It's so fabulous to be able to put faces to some of the amazing homes that we've seen across Wales.
It's been an absolute joy visiting so many beautiful homes. Thank you for allowing us in and letting us see your gorgeous spaces.
We've been touring the nation and we've seen 15 astonishing homes, so thank you all for your contribution. However, now we've been tasked with the difficult challenge of choosing who will be the winner of Wales Home of the Year.
Yes, we've got a tricky task ahead of us, haven't we? We now have to deliberate, so wish us luck. We'll see you soon.
The judges retire to the deliberation room, where they will consider each home in turn. The first task, to whittle them down to their top 3 before going on to decide the ultimate winner.
Well, you two, a difficult decision awaits. Let's remind ourselves both then of the winner of Mid Wales. It is the Holt, of course. Oh, it was a stunner, this one, wasn't it?
Hated this one.
I could tell. I mean, you didn't go on about it at all.
Not at all.
Beautiful home.
What's interesting here, we're seeing the back of it. Now, remember on the approach, the house was actually quite unassuming, wasn't it? We had no idea that we would be exposed to all these beautiful views and all this glazing.
It's all about the view.
Oh, isn't it just?
Set on the banks of the River Tavy in Cardigan, the Holt is home to Katerina, Tim and Cosmo the dog.
We only really fell in love with the view. The view is just the whole reason to be there. It's just the river and the wildlife.
We're just getting to the point where we can love just being there and enjoying.
Yeah, not seeing a million jobs to do all the
do
time.
that.
Yeah. Just having quite a normal sort of bungalow and then turning it into something that's really, for us, feels really special. The house could have been anywhere, but then to make it ours and something that really also reflects just the nature around it as well, I think is probably my favourite bit.
So, the Holt, what are our thoughts?
It's definitely a contender. Beautiful contemporary home, the setting, amazing, aesthetically beautiful, if a bit too show-homey, but still undeniably a really nice home.
Yeah, I felt that this was such a wonderful space to be in. You walked in there and there was just an expanse and it had been beautifully decorated, even though it was very minimalistic, Mandy, as you say. And I personally like a home to have something a bit more homely. I like to cutch into my home, you know, but still, it is definitely a contender. What a stunning home.
Well, you guys, it will be no surprise to you both that I completely, utterly fell head over heels in love with this house. But to me, it was all about simplicity, honesty of materials, clean, minimalistic lines. Now, to me, that is a home. I feel really warm. The concrete was really warm. Ambition was key in this competition. And clearly, the homeowner here had bought a very unassuming bungalow and transformed it into a modernist dream. I couldn't fault it. Absolutely couldn't fault it.
It's an absolutely gorgeous home. And that's what's interesting about Wales Home of the Year, isn't it? Home means different things to each one of us and to each of these homeowners as well. I think we have to keep the Holt there because it's a stunner. Look at it.
Yeah.
Right, OK.
Definitely.
The Holt remains in the competition.
Right, let's have a look at the next home then, both. Let's have a look at Homedale. A gorgeous looking home, wasn't it?
It's a handsome home.
I loved all of the original features, and this was the room that had the heart in it, wasn't it?
That little nook, yeah.
Yeah, and the gorgeous little side bay. I loved that space.
Located in Llandudno, this Victorian residence was winner of the North West and is home to Sandra, husband Kevin, and their dog Barkley.
I mean, we love our home. I love our home. The things we've done in it reflect us, really.
It's a home we're happy living in. It's a home that is good for us, that Sandra's made very nice, and it's a good place for our children and family to come to.
Having seen the other houses, I'm not holding out, but you know, it's just an honour to be here, really. So, but the other houses are amazing. So,
yeah, I think it'll be a great achievement given the standard of the other homes as well. So, yeah, but we'll be smiling.
It is a gorgeous home. What are we thinking, you two?
I think Homedale was an exquisite period house, and what she'd done with it was really sympathetic with the decor. For me, maybe slightly too safe. I would have liked to have seen something a bit more radical.
Mand?
Lovely period property, the bedrooms and that little office, beautiful. But for me, the rest of the house sort of didn't match up to that. And I suppose they're probably working on it because it's a big old house, isn't it? So up against the others, as beautiful as it is, it's not a winner for me.
Interesting.
Yeah, I absolutely adored this home. It gave me such a gorgeous feeling when we walked in. I loved the decor as well and the fact that it had so much of the original stuff that the house would have had. But yeah, I think I'm in agreement with you both. Maybe seeing all the rest of them does put it all in perspective. Shall we flip it?
Let's flip it.
Okay.
Beautiful, though.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Homedale, we love you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I feel sad to say goodbye
Me
to it. I feel like
too.
part of me is still in the house. What a wonderful home.
Homedale is the first to be knocked out.
Let's move on. Let's have a look at the winner from the southwest. Little Castle Cottage. Look at that cute front door. Lovely building.
Oh, I love this house. You know, from the minute we walked into the side of it, I was like, oh.
That did it, didn't it? That New York lofty feel.
100%.
Yeah, and I loved how they'd made a feature of that wall where you could see the original structure that would have been there.
And that mid-century vibe.
Oh, it was lovely.
Overlooked by Kidwelly Castle, Little Castle Cottage is owned by Luke. Along with his parents, Luke completely restored the property with his own hands.
It's quite nice to see people appreciate the work and the design element that we put into the property. It's scary to be judged, yeah, because you put so much of your personal time and into it, and yeah, you just want people to obviously like what you've created, and yeah, it's quite scary to be judged. But fun, it is fun. I mean, I love my home, so it's a winner to me. So if the judges think that, yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, but we'll see.
OK then, Little Castle Cottage. Love this one. What are we thinking, Glenn?
This is really difficult. I absolutely adored this building. I love how clear it was, the clarity, the honesty of materials again. And I think it's very difficult to mix old and new. The kitchen let it down slightly for me. I would have liked to have seen something a bit more contemporary in that space, in line with the upstairs. But yeah, wonderful, very deserved to be at this stage.
I loved this house because, you know, as for curb appeal, aplenty, isn't it? And it still felt cottagey when you went in. It just made me think of how little space you actually need. It doesn't have to be big and flash and, you know, all guns blazing, does it? It just needs to be homely. And I just really had a sense of that. I just thought, I could live here. You know, like, it felt like home. I had personality. It said something about the owners.
Yeah, it was such a lovely home. It just made my heart sing from the moment we stepped through that front door. And even the little things like we had some photographs up in the hallway of miners, I think maybe in a local pub. And it kind of tied in that this area is an ex-industrial area, you know, loads of mines around where Little Castle Cottage is there. But also, you could still see a lot of the area's local history just by stepping upstairs and looking through the window and seeing Kidwelly Castle. Absolutely gorgeous. I think, darlings, this one has to stay.
I'm in total agreement. That's got to stay.
Little Castle Cottage stays in contention for the title. While the judges continue deliberating, our finalists get to know each other and check out the competition.
I thought the Holt was a beautiful project. I think architecturally stunning from the outside and the inside. It relates so well to the landscape, and that view is everything.
If you'd like to house swap anytime.
Absolutely.
It's just, I could see myself being in that space.
I think it's mutual appreciation for what he'd done with a building that was, what he said was dilapidated and really clearly in sore need of work. For us, because we did quite a lot of similar stuff, it really, I think we just felt a similar appreciation.
It's like uncovering a possibility that was always there.
A hidden gem, really.
And actually has only just been realised after maybe 100 or 200 years.
It's nice showing the different aspects of the house and how it's lived through the years.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
No, that's great.
Yeah, we're going to swap details.
With the Holt and Little Castle Cottage still on the table, the judges need to decide whether the Croft or Victorian Terrace will join them in the final three.
Well, you two, let's remind ourselves of the winner of the North East, the Victorian Terrace. Oh, I adored this place. There they are, the owners.
Lucky owners, lucky home.
Love that crystal glass effect shower screen as well in the bathroom.
And that lounge was fantastic, wasn't it? You know, like, you've seen a dark lounge before, but it was so personable the way they've put their stamp on that look.
Owned by Chris and Chelsea, Victorian Terrace is on a busy street in Buckley. Its unassuming exterior hides a bold and surprising interior.
It's got the luxury hotel feel, so when you go somewhere you think this is really nice. But at the same time, when people come to our home, they're not afraid to treat it as their own. So I think we've still kept that homely sense. You know, I want people to come in and put their feet on the table, put their feet up, you know, I want them to treat it as if it's their home, and in my experience, that's what's happened.
The important thing for me about the Victorian Terrace was how much they'd put in of their own personalities. You know, it was cool, it was hip, it was young, there was elements of political messages, as well as a lot of humour. I really, really fell in love with this house.
I owned a home that was not dissimilar to the Victorian Terrace, and I had some really fond memories of renovating it and doing a lot of the things that I think that these homeowners did to it. And I personally felt like I had a particular connection to it, maybe for that reason, but I think more so for the reasons that both of you said, that it was just a wonderful feeling from the second that we stepped through the threshold into that home.
And what I feel is that, do you know, when you think about Wales's home of the year, are you thinking flash, big show homes, or are you thinking obtainable, a house that everyone could sort of copy or try and take inspiration for? And it just goes to show, doesn't it? You know, 4 walls.
Yeah.
What's in the 4 walls, who's in the 4 walls is the biggest influence, and that's what makes a home.
There's a consistency in language throughout the whole home, but exactly as you said, the personality that shone through that house was wonderful.
It
A
was.
well-loved house.
Yeah, full of love, that one, full of love. OK, the Victorian Terrace, what are we thinking? For me, there are no doubts.
Don't be flipping that.
It's not flipping, baby, it's not flipping.
Victorian Terrace remains in the running.
So here we are. This is mine and Chelsea's house.
Chris's Victorian Terrace was just my sort of style.
When we got it, it had suffered from the 70s, so they'd removed like lots of original features.
No. Oh,
It
that's
had
such a shame.
The bathroom was a peach suite, so a nice big peach corner bath.
Bears no resemblance. I love the dark interiors, and the black kitchen was amazing. Something for us to think about.
So we've fitted full new bathroom suite, full new kitchen suite, which we just did ourselves. That was
Really?
yeah,
Oh,
cost
it's
saving, isn't it?
I love all the black. That is definitely my style. Look at the units, they're gorgeous. But yes, I loved his style, and he's so hands-on. He's you know, the work he's done himself. He's so clever and talented. So yeah, it's a lovely house.
The judges still have the Holt, Little Castle Cottage and Victorian Terrace on the table. But will the final home, the winner from the southeast, knock one of them out of the top 3?
Well, the next home that we have to think about is the Croft. It was perched on that hill overlooking Pontypridd. There was a commanding position for a home, wasn't it? So gorgeous, so handsome.
Oh, I loved that hall. The colour, the tiles, the lights, the donkey.
It's a clear example of interior design shouldn't take itself too seriously. These elements of humour were really rich.
A former nursing home in Pontypridd, now split into 3 separate properties, the Croft has been lovingly transformed by Susan, Mick and their 2 daughters, Ruby and Seren.
The house in its layout works really well. The idea that we've been able to make it accessible for our family and take into account the needs of our family whilst keeping a degree of style, I think has been the most rewarding thing, because to an untrained eye it wouldn't look like we've attempted to do that at all.
I think it's a proper home, it's a proper party house, and I'm proud that we're making memories there. I think the girls love it, and you know their friends certainly love it, and we know that. I think what we've done from it, and what you've done predominantly from it, turning from what it was to what it is now, I'm very proud of it, very proud of what you've done.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, this is a tough one for me, you know.
Very.
Because I did really like it. I thought that it had been renovated, clearly renovated, to a very high standard. I'm just not quite sure that inside it that I got that kind of, wow, I feel warm, that homely feeling that I got in some of the other homes. And I can't put my finger on why that is.
I know I'm the same. I think we're at this level of the competition now where that has to be consistent through the home. The kitchen was stunning. The speakeasy was wonderful. The humour, it was a very mature room, and it was that element of surprise as well, which we've been looking for. But there were rooms that perhaps let it down.
I loved the finish here, and as a designer, I think the finish is so important. So I loved that they made the most of the space, you know, the little club downstairs. And I also loved the little nook office on the landing. So I do love it, but I get your point.
Yeah, when you compare it to the others, it's just that feeling for me. But no, I completely agree with you both. Oh, it's so difficult, isn't it?
It is really
You know, it's a
hard,
cooking
really
house.
hard.
Absolutely, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we'd have seen that at the start, we wouldn't have believed in one moment that we'd be flipping it over, because it had so much. It was on 4 floors. The owners put so much effort and love and passion into it, and that shines through. But we do have to make a decision.
Yeah. As much as we love it, the three of us, I know, shall we flip the croft over?
Afraid so.
I think we're going to have to, sorry to say.
Okay, then.
Bye-bye, Croft.
Bye, darling.
The croft is out of the competition.
Oh, that's interesting. I've no idea the way it's going to go from here now. I was quite sure that we'd be at this position with these three, but from here on in is uncharted territory for me.
Now comes the toughest task of all. From the final three, they must decide which one will be Wales Home of the Year.
Well, that's us got it down to 3. And this makes it even harder. We're left with the Victorian Terrace, the Holt and Little Castle Cottage. Ooh!
Have you, during the journey, felt that you had chosen in your mind the Wales Home of the Year and then it changed throughout the process?
A lot.
It's weird, isn't it? You think you see one and you walk through it thinking, right, well, that's it. We don't need to see any others. This is my winner. And then you look at them now and the quality that we have in front of us, it's outstanding. And I'm struggling, really struggling.
Yeah, I've said from the start that for me, home and the feeling of home isn't something that you can touch or build or furnish in a way. It's just a feeling and it's just a combination of loads of things. And I think the three of us are, you know, on the same page as far as that is concerned. But when you see these three up against each other, oh, it's really tough. The Victorian Terrace, adore. Nearly made me cry, absolutely. The love, the work, everything that's gone into it. But then the same can be said about Little Castle Cottage, as far as that feeling goes.
Yeah. I think for sheer ambition and how it was realised, the homeowner of the Holt is right up there at the top. Sometimes Wales can be seen as quite traditional when viewed from abroad. So to me, the winner of Wales Home of the Year, it's really important that it's something that pushes the boundaries, something that's innovative and contemporary, and the sleek design solutions that we've got for the Holt. I'd really like to see that as a winner, guys.
I don't know whether or not the Holt just felt a bit empty to me and felt like something that had cost a lot of money. Whereas look at the Victorian Terrace, for example, and I think it's pretty clear that, you know, they hadn't spent hundreds of thousands on furnishing and decorating and doing that up. I totally acknowledge what you're saying. You know, this is a cutting-edge home, but I feel that there were many aspects of that in Little Castle Cottage as well. When you look at the layout of it, what they had done with the ceiling space in the roof, and also the way that they encapsulated the history of the home by utilising, you know, what was there already with that stone wall.
There's no denying the Holt was wow factor. You know, all that concrete, you know, it's an aesthetic we've seen before. It's a very high standard. I just can appreciate all three homes for very different reasons. But a home, to me, you need to walk in and you need to feel restful. I think it needs to have personality, it needs to have character. I need to feel that it's actually a livable home and not a show home. And for me, Little Castle Cottage pips the post because it's got curb appeal, it's beautifully laid out. It doesn't feel too out of reach. You know, it's a really nice, classic look that anyone can take inspiration from. I got a lovely feeling when I walked through, and for me, essentially, that is a home.
Do you know one thing I felt that the Victorian Terrace had over these two in a different way was you somehow were brought in to learning more about the owners without even looking for it. I don't know, this home gave me something that neither of these did.
Oh, really? I was going to say, you've been holding your cards close to your chest up until that point.
Well, I'm very discreet, Glenn, you know me.
With the Victorian Terrace, there's no denying it felt like a home. That's a well-loved home. However, I've seen the formula before, you know, like the Black Kitchen and stuff, so they certainly put their stamp on that formula, but it still didn't have the originality of this one.
Yeah, I agree, Mandy. Little Castle Cottage did give me hiraeth, bucket loads of hiraeth, actually. It made me feel like there was a connection to the local area. It was a very Welsh home, I think, and the owner had absolutely transformed it.
With Mandy voting for Little Castle Cottage, Glenn flying the flag for the Holt, and Owain veering toward Victorian Terrace, the judges have a fight on their hands to reach a final verdict.
Well, I think that you two are in agreement that perhaps the Victorian terrace is your least favourite out of what we have in front of us here. And even though I absolutely adore it, maybe that's the one we turn over.
We've got a very high standard, and there's 3. Someone's got to go.
Okay, well, I hate doing this. Oh, I can't look.
You're going to have to do it, I can't.
I loved it so much, but...
Well done to them, though, hey?
3 of us adored it, didn't we? We're left with 2. Oh, this is going to be tough now. For me, out of these 2, there is one clear winner.
Excellent. The halt. We can wrap it up then.
I can appreciate both of them are amazing. But a home, to me, it's a feeling, it's something I want to see character, personality, and it has it in spades.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you, Mandy, as much as I love your favourite, Glenn. I know, and you can tell so much work has gone into this home, and it is breathtaking.
It is breathtaking. Yeah,
but it did make me feel like I was a visitor, whereas this home made me feel like I could have stayed, I could have put the kettle on, I could have put my feet up, heaven forbid, I could have had a glass of wine. So I think I know who I'd like to see as Wales Home of the Year.
OK, well, I do get what you're talking about. This sense of hiraeth is the word you've used throughout the programme, which I love. I wouldn't be disappointed whatsoever if that was the winner.
Are we in agreement?
Yes, OK then.
And now the moment has arrived for the judges to announce the winner of Wales Home of the Year.
So we've managed, after a lot of deliberation, to whittle it down to one winner.
It's been such a pleasure and honour to get to spend time in each of your exceptional homes and to get to know you and your personalities. Congratulations to all of you.
And trust me when I say this hasn't been an easy decision for us to make.
But of course, there can only be one winner. And we are absolutely thrilled to announce that Wales Home of the Year is... Little Castle Cottage. Congratulations. Well done. Congratulations. It was fabulous.
I can't believe it. I mean, all these houses were stunning, so it could have gone either way, but obviously I'm so proud. I can't wait to tell my mum and dad and my partner, Yuri, but yeah, I can't wait.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, lovely home. Brilliant. But yeah, I'm not that posh. He is.
And yeah, it's just all the hard work, and you know, it's nice to have this. You know, people appreciate like what we've done. It's a nice feeling. Yeah, it's very nice. I won Wales Home of the Year. It's brilliant.
Emotional, fraught and heartrending. Raw Honesty, Matt Willis Fighting Addiction, is on BBC One now. Here on 2, some speaking for the first time. 11 Minutes, America's deadliest mass shooting is next.